alive! It's alive! It's alive! Now I know what it feels like to be gone.
Perhaps you had better start from the beginning.
It is noted that both Universal and Hammer Studios' adaptation of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein are cornerstones of horror cinema. Both films represent their respected eras and transcended what could have been seen on screen. More importantly, how they portrayed the film's lead, Dr. Frankenstein. In today's video, we will explore how Terence Fisher's The Curse of Frankenstein took the Mad Doctor archetype and transformed him into a complex character, who then transforms into the film's monster. Before we examine our Baron, first we must see the groundwork laid upon by Colin Clive's Henry Frankenstein.
Crazy am I? We'll see whether I'm crazy or not.
Colin Clive's performance is a little eccentric, but you have to be to raise the dead, am I right?
Go and see for yourself.
For the majority of Frankenstein, Clive is a very curious and unhealthily driven man. But upon bringing to life his creation, played respectively by Boris Karloff, he's openly cautious and even frightened by it. There is something that bothers me though. Henry Frankenstein isn't punished for his crimes. He knows what he's done and the cost of the lives of several villagers. He created a monster. And due to his status in society, he was protected from the world, whereas his creation wasn't.
Bring him down to the village and let's take him home.
If you're asking me why am I bringing this up, I'll explain later in the video. I do have to point out that in Universal's Frankenstein, Henry wasn't the main focus of the film. Colin Clive was only in 2 films. The other sequels were either offspring, distant relatives, or unrelated characters to the Frankenstein character. The monster was the focus, and the selling point of the picture. With that being said, Hammer's Frankenstein lacked ethics and empathy for others. He kills if need be. Failure isn't an option. Victor's curiosity consumes him, much like Henry Frankenstein, but when Henry robbed graves and cadavers for his experiments, Victor was willing to kill for them. There are 3 key moments in The Curse of Frankenstein that I find that define the character's complex nature, an evolution from the usual Mad Doctor archetype. The first being Victor's first victim in his pursuit for a perfect creation. After assembling the parts needed from the gallows and the charnel house, Victor began looking for a brain. His subject would be Professor Bernstein.
Look out, Professor, look out!
How much longer is this to go on? Meeting like this in dark corridors.
There is a subplot that is nicely woven into the story of Victor's affair with the castle maid Justine. Victor was promised his cousin Elizabeth to be married when he was 15 years old. And here is our Baron in the midst of an affair. The film doesn't show Victor to be the loyal type whatsoever.
It'll be your duty to serve my cousin Elizabeth and see to her every need just as thoroughly as you have mine.
When the creature had been revived a second time, Justine threatens to go to the police if Victor does not marry her. She also claims to be pregnant with the Baron's child. The Baron's answer to all of this? Locked in a room, Justine is brutally murdered off-screen. Earlier in this film, Victor seems slightly smitten with Justine, but as we get to the end of the film, we see his true colors for her. She's disposable, like everyone else. After the murder of a blind man and a child by the creature, Paul and Victor hunt down the monster. Paul kills the creature, and both men bury it, making a promise to end this experiment. It's a promise that Victor immediately breaks. Victor revives his creation for a second time, and it looks far more monstrous. A side note here, Christopher Lee's second rebirth is far more haunting than his first. The black eyes from the blood is a nice accent piece for the monster. The reason I include this scene in particular is due to how Victor values his friendship with Paul, that he violates it and allows the creature to live once more.
You perfect physical being, this animal.
It's the ultimate betrayal after the majority of the film is summed up with Paul telling his friend to stop, that nothing good will come to playing God. The end result is Paul seeing the monstrous side of his best friend reflected in his creation. So why do I refer to Hammer's Frankenstein as the Baron? Well, that was his title in the novel. It was part of his status in society, but Hammer's adaptation of Victor Frankenstein is sinister and darker. To wrap up this comparison of Universal and Hammer's Frankenstein, the title of Baron doesn't free him from the authorities. Henry Frankenstein's antics were mild compared to the lies, deceit, and murder committed by Victor. With that, we have a story where the Mad Doctor is forced to face the repercussions of his actions. Of course, this isn't the end for the Baron. The Curse of Frankenstein was a big hit and brought in $8 million from the cinemas. It would go on to be a flagship franchise for Hammer Studios and the birth for Hammer Horror. Multiple sequels and a reboot were made underneath the Frankenstein franchise, as well as several other iconic Gothic horror films like Dracula and the Mummy stemmed from this film's success. What did you guys all think about the character of the Baron and the Curse of Frankenstein itself? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you guys all next time.